Soto, we are live. Another week, another
Oh,
few topics
hello.
we're gonna talk about here. We were off last week. I had to be part of some coaching, and you took the weekend off, so it was kind of nice. Had an off week, but we got a few things. Obviously, the big topic will be fantasy football's coming up,
Oh, I know.
which
Next
also
week.
me. Yeah, the NFL season starting Thursday, which
Hmm.
is crazy. Yeah, there's other things, from like WWE and stuff like that. But Soto, there's something I want to ask you, and this is I actually did not forewarn you about this because this kind of just recently popped up, and I
Sure.
find this so stupid. And we always somehow turn food. Actually, before I even get into this, first of all, today's my
Oh God,
anniversary. I know
it's
you
gonna be
kind of
food already.
we're gonna get there, but yeah, today's my anniversary. So yes, we're doing this.
Congratulations.
Thank you. 11 years. You were there. You
Hmm.
were there when we got married.
I was there. I was there. I remember it. That was a busy summer.
Yes, because your sister got married what, a week or two before me or after me?
Yeah, exactly. No, before you. Yeah, because
Yeah.
her anniversary I think was. I'm trying to take a look at the calendar, but it looks like it was like a more couple weeks ago. I can always go back to my Instagram because I literally have pictures from both of those days still on my Instagram. So
Damn, you have
20,
Instagram.
2014, I want to say, right?
Yep, 2014. Long, yeah,
2014.
it's
Yep.
been 11 years. But anyhow, back to what I was originally starting. Yeah, so as usual, when we're scrolling through TikTok and all this other bullshit, something caught my eye, and I had to watch this, and it was Kevin Smith. He was being interviewed by God knows who, excuse me.
Hmm.
I don't know the guy. I don't know why this popped up, but the question intrigued me, and I'm going to kind of throw it to you in a way too. But
Okay.
basically, the guy asked Kevin Smith, and I'm going to ask kind of a different one. Like, out of all the cereal mascots, all the mascots that are on cereal boxes, which
Sure.
mascot would have the best backstory for a film? So I'm going to ask you sort of in a little bit differently.
Oh my gosh.
If you had to make a movie about one mascot that would be interesting or that you would actually watch out of all the cereal mascots, because we remember our Saturday morning cartoons, full of cereal. We
I
were
do.
happy. We were kids. We didn't have any worries. We no cares, no jobs, no nothing. It was a great time. But yeah, I like I said, I know you weren't prepared for this. I just laughed because
Wow.
I will. While you're thinking, he kind of brought up the idea that he wants the Captain Crunch backstory because he's like, if you look at the outfit he's wearing, Captain Crunch is not actually a captain. So he went into this whole stolen valor kind of thing. I'm like, God damn! But
Right.
obviously it's Kevin Smith. But yeah, I started thinking, and I've not actually thought this through, Soto. This literally just kind of happened earlier today in the last hour or so while we were waiting. Um, but yeah, what serial mascot would make for an interesting movie? Do you think? Do you
Oh,
even have an
wow.
idea? Or what would
Uh,
entertain you?
as I'm looking at like through them right now, as I just brought up um just brought up the ones that I have here. I kind of want to find out like Frankenberry. That's one that I would like to see more about. Um Also the Cookie Crook. I'm assuming this is Cookie Crisp. That seems like that would be interesting. Wow, you really put me on the spot
I
here.
did, and I was trying to think about this myself because I'm just thinking about. So yeah, I don't know. Like I was big on a lot of cereals, probably like you, as I'm stalling for time. And yeah, I kind of look at
Yeah.
the Frankenberry, the Count Dracula. That I think there's like the Boo Berry, like what? How did these
Yes.
monsters get into cereals and stuff like that? Then I look at the Trix Rabbit. I'm
Right.
like, what? Why do kids have a problem with this rabbit? What the fuck did he ever do? But yeah, no. I mean, I was just trying to think. I'm
Here's
like, I don't know who would make a good movie. Like, why is Tony the Tiger just so happy about Frosted Flakes? I don't honestly have a good answer, but I'm laughing at this. But I can see the sad part is I can see the horror movies coming out of this because we've seen
yeah.
a lot of shit movies, and now that with public domain. We've talked about and not really talked about, but like Mickey Mouse, Winnie the Pooh, and Popeye the Sailor Man
Yeah.
all have these cheesy, and I'm like, holy shit! It's only a matter of time before these serial
Yeah.
mascots hit public domain and we're seeing bad horror movies, which I will watch. Um,
Why is Sunny so cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? That's what I want to know.
He's insane.
You know,
His backstory, he's probably in an insane asylum. We don't know. And really that's just all in his mind. I don't know.
why are so many of these mascots insane?
I,
Or I
I
feel like they're kind of crazy. As I'm looking through them right now, I'm like, wow, these are like the Trix Rabbit is kind of crazy.
yeah.
I don't
And
know
they
about Toucan Sam, but Lucky from Lucky Charms, or is it Lucky Charms? Is that his whole name? Wow.
that I don't know. Did they ever give him a name officially? That I don't. I mean,
I feel like Lucky would be it. Yeah.
Lucky
Lucky
sounds
the
correct.
Leprechaun.
Yeah. So no, I
Hmm.
don't. I just laughed. And yes, I actually like you when I was looking at like the overall pictures of it. I did see like the Count Chocula and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know,
Yeah.
but that just makes me think like we had there's some messed up mascots. Though I mean, we if you really
I want
think
to know
about
why
it,
Boo. I want to know why Boo Berry Crunch was discontinued. That's the only one that was discontinued. I think maybe it came back, but it was the only cereal that turned your milk blue. Pretty sure.
sounds right. I
From
I
what I
thought they
remember.
all got discontinued and came back. And again, I could be wrong. The Frankenberry and the Chocolate. I thought that whole
Yeah.
line. Maybe it was just too scary for kids. I don't know. Why is Snap, Crackle, and Pop? What is their backstory? How did these three meet? Why does the cereal talk to them? Again, we're back to insanity. That's
Yeah.
the only
Uh,
explanation I kind of have. They just
yeah.
cereal bowls are talking to them. So no, I laughed.
I
Like I
haven't
said,
eaten cereal in like fucking years, man. Like I don't even remember the last time I ate cereal.
I a couple weeks ago. My family eats a lot of cereal. I don't as much, a lot, just because when I get home and stuff. But every
Wow.
now and then,
Yeah.
especially on a day off, I think the last cereal I just had was Cocoa Pebbles. I was just like, I have a good bowl of Cocoa Pebbles.
The
Uh,
fuck?
what?
I just can't even picture like eating cereal. Like right, like I haven't eaten. The cereal aisle is the most empty aisle like of people at Market Basket. Like every time I walk by the cereal aisle, there's nobody there. Cereal and soda. Nobody's ever in those two aisles. Like just people don't. I don't know who eats cereal. I mean, clearly you eat cereal, but like I've never. I haven't woken up and been like, I'm going to eat milk and cereal. Like that's just not in my fucking breakfast thing. It's like protein, if anything else. I just can't fucking. That's like dessert, like to
Well,
wake up with.
that's
That's
kind of.
fucking crazy.
I do not wake up. Yeah, actually, I really don't eat in the morning, especially when I work. If I do eat in the morning,
Oh,
it's
neither
like
do
maybe
I.
a day off. I'm just coffee might be one thing, but yeah. So I'm not waking up like, oh, I want.
Oh,
But
coffee, yeah.
I, but at late at night, or even if it's not late after dinner, quick snack, and like I said,
Like a
Cocoa
snack.
Pebbles, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I love Golden Grams. Golden Grams have always been a favorite of mine. Yeah,
Oh my
no,
god.
dude, don't knock on cereal. But yes, like you said, you just want a late night
Uh,
snack, get some milk. I mean, not too late, but
yeah.
yeah, no, I'm not woken up and like I'm gonna start my day off with a bowl of cereal. But yes, like in the
Uh,
evening and stuff like that, it's like what's wrong with it? I don't do it a lot. But yeah, every night we have a
you know
lot of
what it
cereal in the
is?
household.
Here's probably here's I don't know what the fucking the rooster is there. Cornflakes. Okay.
Cornflakes. Oh, you're
Um.
looking at the picture. Yeah,
Yeah. Here's the thing. A lot of the time at night I'm drunk, so like milk and like
yeah.
and alcohol don't mix together. So I don't
No
like. I've never like hammered off a beer and then been like, you know what I really want right now? Ice
cereal.
cream. Or
Ice.
dairy based products, like I just don't. That's what it is, I think. Because like if I was a normal person like you, maybe I would be like, oh well, I'm not drunk tonight, so maybe I will have some cereal. uh I know Sarah's, if we had cereal in the house, Sarah would probably drink it, but we don't drink like any milk in my house at all.
I don't. Yeah.
Like we keep a single serve of milk in the fridge, and that's it, because there's never an occasion for me to use milk because I drink coffee and I drink it black, black, black. There's nothing in my coffee except how it comes out. Like I don't put any sugar in it. I don't put anything in my coffee. That's not because I'm a badass in any kind of way. That actually is just because my stomach is so sensitive. As I think I said in a previous episode, that milk is too spicy.
Spicy.
My stomach is sensitive. Like if I put sugar in something first thing in the morning, like I'll just have acid reflux like throughout my entire day. So I know coffee in itself is quote unquote acidic, but black coffee, like it's just pure caffeine. It tastes like dog shit, which wakes me up. and it's hot, that's what I have in the morning. So I can't be like, oh, let's have some sugar. Let's have some Lucky Charms. It's a terrible Irish accent, but you know what I mean.
We accept it. It's
Yeah, I can't.
okay.
I can do it.
All accents, we
I can't
accept it.
do
We
it,
don't
but
care.
I can't do it. I
Even
can, but
the
cereal, like yeah, like I just never like if I'm drunk, I'm looking for like an Italian sub, you know.
ooh, I think we talked about this. Jill
Which,
loves
by the
toast.
way, I can't. I found out that I cannot have a very specific combination in Italian subs anymore, because it does devastating things to me. But I get an Italian sub with oil, vinegar, salt, pepper, provolone cheese. I decided to try to add red hots into this shit. And let me tell you, my body paid the price for the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up for the next day. Like I couldn't, I was eating dinner and as like my non-spicy dinner was hitting my stomach, like I thought I was going to like pass out from my stomach pain and then just spent the night in the bathroom. So no more red hots for me on Italians. It's too much with the cured meats and the spicy shit.
Yeah, I don't think I really put anything hot, like red hots or anything like that, on my subs. I guess I guess the
Yeah.
hottest is just I don't mind a good Dijon or spicy mustard, and that's about it.
Sure.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll put onions, raw onions. You know, I've done that. You know, I actually have done peppers, but green bell peppers, I do not call that
Yeah.
spicy, obviously. So yeah, no, I
No.
mean, when
No.
I get a sub, I just like to eat it, sit down, be happy, and that's about it. But I think we talked about this.
Yeah,
Like,
I hurt myself.
there's some spicy
Yeah.
foods I can do, but just in certain situations, I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want my sub to be spicy like that. But yeah, I can see
I
yourself
mean,
hurting
going,
yourself.
yeah, I did suffer, but going back to cereal, I will say that I used to fuck with Frosted Flakes big time. Like I would take a huge, like probably like I don't know, 24-ounce mug and fill it with like fucking Frosted Flakes and milk and just fucking that
Hmm.
was what I was eating when I was younger. Never did I gain a pound. It was wonderful those days.
It was
Now
great.
it's like that would kill me. That'd probably give me diabetes.
Diabetes. Oh my god.
Diabetes.
But yeah, the going changing subjects are the big thing coming up. We have fantasy football. Me and you will be drafting our teams in our league on Tuesday.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
fantasy leagues are going crazy across the board. Obviously the
Hmm.
season starts Thursday, so everyone tries to get, you know, this is the week, you know, because I do not like drafting too early. I know some people like, you know, they do drafts like mid August. I'm like, no, I kind of still want to see any last minute injury reports because I think the worst is like you draft a guy and then they're injured in a preseason game and you are fucked for the rest of the season. But so do
Hmm.
I, you know, so in our league, we talked about, or we haven't talked, you know, not online. Um, you know, I got the seventh pick and you got the ninth pick. And you've kind of
Yeah.
changed a little stance because, you know, obviously we are both mock drafting. We have a 16 team
Yes.
league, but mock drafts only do 14. And it's like, all right. But, you know, we were talking about
Mhm.
loading up on wide receivers, mainly because this league is
Yeah.
a 3 wide receiver league and a 1 running back, which is not typical to a basic, you know, fantasy football, which is fine. Everything should be a little different. But yeah, you always, and then all of a sudden you're like, you're going to draft someone that fucked us both last year.
Yeah.
And you're highly
There's a good
considering it.
chance
So
I will.
I got to hear this. Why? You know, why is Christian McCaffrey back on your radar?
I don't know. I feel like I have a Brokeback Mountain thing going on with Christian McCaffrey, and I can't quit him because he's always every other year, right? I've been doing mock drafts, and you know what? It's been between in my spot, and we can talk about the strategy because I know we talked about like loading up on wide receivers. Like last year, I kind of felt like I got fucked, although I didn't really, because last year was like I got completely fucked by CMC, and it made my team kind of trivial. But I was able to kind of get by with my wide receivers. But in my mock drafts that I've been doing, I've been noticing that if I go, yes, we only have a one running back slot, right? And so I feel like it's more valuable to get a high end producing running back at the like at the top of the draft. And then because I've been finding that there's a lot of value for wide receivers, you know, in round two, like I was able to get Lad McConkey in round two and a couple of times. So there was still value there. and I wouldn't have to be scrambling for running backs because I feel, and tell me if you've heard otherwise, but I kind of feel like wide receivers are more deeper than running backs are. So it's either been Christian McCaffrey for me or Derrick Henry. I've also picked around that area. I have not gone with Amon St. Brown or Malik Neighbors, although I probably should. But
I'm
like
saying
I
with the
have been in
neighbors.
my mock drafts I've been having. Yeah, I kind of felt iffy about that. So if McCaffrey's like not available to me, like I've been going with Derrick Henry. Nico Collins is kind of iffy for me, but he's not going to fall to me anyways. As I'm looking at, our kind of a draft that we have right now. But I mean, I'm only going with CMC because, again, there's not a lot going on in San Francisco. I don't even think that they have like a lot of running backs there. Although they have some questions with their offensive line, which scares me a little bit. So
Yeah,
that's why if McCaffrey's there and I'm feeling like I want to go running back, I might go with Derrick Henry instead.
running back is definitely, and it's easy and hard. And I say this in most
Yeah.
leagues that have two running backs. It's good to load up. And here's my train of thought, and I go back and forth. Because we're so experts, Soto. So before
Mhm.
last year, and I'll get to what happened to me last year, kind of similar to you. I kind of loaded up on a lot of running backs. A lot of leagues have done, two running backs, one flex, or even two flex. And like you, especially in PPR leagues, if you get those backs who are doing the catches out of the, backfield, that shit adds up.
Mhm.
Yeah, excuse me.
Yeah.
McCaffrey is a workhorse, and yeah, last year we
Mhm.
both at different spots drafted him. The injury killed us, and for me, my team. But last year was the first time I went very heavy on wide receivers. And I had a lot of injuries. I did have Nico Collins, who was out for a little bit. I had Kenneth Walker, who
Yep.
missed a few because he was like my
Mhm.
second back. So yeah, it was so fucking difficult. I was dealing with that, but I do like having that strong running back. But at the same time, I also feel like it's hard because the receiver, it depends on the receiver and it depends on the team. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah,
Right.
there's a lot. You're
Mhm.
looking at wide receiver twos who could just step up. And it's the same, it's different than having a handcuff because the hard part is when you have like you just said, there's not much going on in the Niners backfield, which could help. But you got
Mhm.
I think what Juwan Jennings, well, kind of injured right now in Purcell, and I forget who else.
Yeah.
So it's hard, and even Kittle. No, McCaffrey, if he is healthy, and you're right, and that's fantasy is a gamble. Yeah, because what McCaffrey can produce, and if he's back to what he was like 2 years ago, 4 years ago, and all that shit, yeah, you can slide
Yeah.
him in and not worry. The problem is the receiver is going to get the high volume? What's the payoff? Because there is a lot of good backs that because now you're saying receivers in round two or three, but there's also backs going in 2 and 3. You're like, okay,
Mhm.
that's the thing. Yeah, we with a three receiver league, yeah, you might get two, but once you get to that third receiver slot, especially in a 16 team league, and that's the key. We
Mhm.
got to
Mhm.
for our league is 16 teams, so it's not like a 10 or 12 where you get a little bit extra in those rounds. It's gonna run dry finding that third, and I think that's the thing. Like you, I'm gonna feel it. The seventh spot is very interesting. I don't have really thoughts yet. I'm gonna feel it in the moment, like I did with my recent draft, which I did for the post office. Which I don't know if you want to talk about. This was I feel like shit. Like I am not happy with this, but I feel like so yeah, I know you got the pictures, and I gotta kind of show what my team is here. So I kind of went in like I'm just gonna feel it. Like I kind of I got home. I had like 15 minutes to get on. Like you, I've been doing mock drafts. I knew I wanted to grab a couple handcuffs. I ended up with the number two pick, and I didn't know how I was
Mhm.
gonna go with number two at first. I'm like, Jamar Chase, and then I thought, I was like, you know what, maybe Bijan Robinson. I'll just see who falls. And I know you're not as high as Robinson as Barkley. I'm the other way around. But
Mm.
yeah, I did take Bijan Robinson because I like you. Atlanta's not going to be great, and I think he's going to be a workhorse. Now, could he get injured? Yeah, at least I got to. I picked up so many handcuffs. I'm like, fuck it. That I think that might have helped, or could possibly kill me. But yeah, I'm in a two. This is a two running back, two receiver, two flex league. No kickers, which I know you like. And so yeah,
I love
I
that.
I have Mason as like my third back. but I have a lot of players on shit teams. Um, so
Yeah,
that
well, the
could,
Garrett Wilson one is kind of iffy for me. Like, I think I mentioned that to you. That's kind of if.
and that I think if I count right, I think that was in the fourth round. And I was getting
Yeah,
to
it's about
fourth
the
or
time.
no, I think that was fifth round because I think I took Polar. Well, I don't remember, but either way, I was looking like I need a second receiver, and that was kind of the best option because I'm going to tell a story, which I know you know, Soto. This league, someone fucked up. Someone couldn't make it,
Oh, yes, you told me that. Yeah. Oh
and
my God.
the commissioner kind of said, "Hey, just try and put some people in your queue." Now, I do not use the queue for anything. Maybe for like if I'm still doing it live, I
Mhm.
and I'm like, oh, I might put someone that I really want, just but I'm usually sitting there. I hate using the queue because fuck. Last year, someone was trying to do the queue and they couldn't log in, and they only added
Yeah.
one player, Debo Samuel, and Debo Samuel went first overall, which is fucking hilarious to me. And he made the
Wow.
semifinals. It was a run and go, but anyhow, yeah, this one
Oh
girl,
my
she
God.
couldn't make it, and she listened, so she was just kind of putting QBs who she liked. Not
Mhm.
I don't think she fully realizes how it works. So yeah, Lamar, she got Lamar Jackson, which third round, but it's always that once someone takes that QB, that starts the ball rolling, which people like. Oh, and that I looked at that, I'm like, I did
I mean,
something I rarely do. I took Jaden Daniels in the third round, but what happened
oh
was
God.
then she took like Bo Nix in the fourth round, Drake May in the fifth round because they were still in her queue. And I like this is why I just leave it on auto draft. Let it, and so she has three QBs, and I'm like,
Mm.
okay, but now some of the later people who didn't take the QB right away might be with a little bit shittier QB. So I has a little. I know not a lot of people. Bo Nix and Drake May, not I'm going to say top tier, but the possibilities there. We saw what Bo Nix did last year. Drake May, we're going to see this year. So if they start doing well, she's got some trade value there. So I'm like, maybe you found a secret way to win this. I don't know. But yeah,
Oh,
it
like
kind
get
of changed
after.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely changed things up. But yeah, I'm looking at it like I think I just felt in the moment, but I'm like, I'm not loving it. But depending on how things play out, this team's either gonna suck or just surprise the shit out of a lot of people. So I don't know. I did get some handcuffs, but I'll see how things go the first 2 or 3 weeks, and then I'll drop.
Yeah.
I luckily got Robinson's
I mean,
handcuff. That was the big thing.
Golden could be a dude that I've heard about.
Mm-hmm.
That he's coming up. Use your last like bench stuff on kind of like some people that could break out. And you definitely Algiers the handcuff
It's
to
Robinson,
Bijan.
yeah.
Yep. Shipley to Saquon, right?
Yep, and Donald too. Hubbard.
Um,
Hubbard, I was kind of Hubbard's one of those sneaky second or third round picks. I know he's on Panthers, but I had him 2 years ago and saw him last year, so they use him a
yeah.
lot. And Mason could take over as well. I know they're in a running back by committee right now, kind of with Aaron Jones.
Yes.
Jones is more
Yeah. Yeah.
just the starter. So yeah, I think I picked up Mason. Like, okay, there's the possibility because yeah, when he started for McCaffrey, he nailed it. Like he was the
Yeah.
sleeper last year.
Hmm.
I'm not. I didn't realize I took so many running backs. I was like, fuck it. I'm like, I'm not getting a backup QB. I don't care about a back. I will stream a QB and tight end when I need it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just loading this up. So we'll see. We'll see. But
Yeah. No, I mean it looks fine. It's kind of again. I don't know if I'll go so wide receiver heavy. I've done it in a few other mock drafts. I'm like a lot of wide receivers up front. There's a lot of value. I mean, I was able to get guys like in the fourth round. I got Jalen Waddle on one of them, and then
mm,
Rome Adunze in Chicago.
yep.
Uh, Igbuka, like I got him in the sixth round in one of these. Um, so like yeah, there's definitely some wide receiver depth in there. I just felt that I do want I am kind of leaning towards the bell cow RB and then just like surrounding the wide receivers. I don't give a shit about QBs because I found late QBs like I was in one mock draft I was able to get like Drake May after I filled out everything else, and Drake May was still there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I don't know.
Well,
QB will
that's
be
it. Do
like
you
an
think
afterthought for
Drake
me.
May is gonna light it up this year? There. I mean, I know Patriots fans think so. I'm like, I still
I mean,
will if
he's
he.
gonna be he's is he good enough like in that spot of QB? Like that's basically in that spot of QB, maybe like a guy who consistently gets 15, 18 points. I'm fine with. Um, I want to make room to have superstars in my other key areas. Guys that can really score points and get touchdowns. So um, I think I picked kicker dead last. There's one guy I picked. His name was Dicker, and I only picked him because I wanted to be Dicker the kicker or something like that. So um, I'll probably do that again
Oh, 100.
this
I
year.
will
It's
tell you
like
this:
I just pick
in our
kickers based
draft,
on the
kickers
names.
last. No, but that's the thing. Kickers. Um, I don't want to say they're interchangeable. Yes, some are better than others, but the most part, you never know how a kicker's game going to go. I think I always said it should be by how far they should get points based on how far the field goal is. So like if 30 yards,
Yeah,
it's 3 points. 53 yards, kind of like receivers and running backs. But no, I 100% agree. Kicker is going to be my last pick. Don't care. Most of the time, QBs, I don't even, like I said, fourth or fifth. There's just something told me like, let me get a kind of an elite quarterback, and then that way everything else, if it works out, we can see receiver wide. Yeah, I usually never take a QB in third round, especially in a 16
no,
team league. When we do ours, there's just no way because you need to load up on the like running backs and receivers. You need to start filling those out because it's going to get dry.
absolutely.
Um,
Yeah, real
yeah,
dry.
but no, I will say one player, and I'm still debating on the seventh pick, and I know would have to take him higher than expected, just because I
Hmm.
know he's more lower, but it's not going to come back around. Like I keep saying this, something about Ashton Genty, I kind of
Oh
want
God,
him,
I see him. I mean, he's in range. You would definitely be kind of reaching
but
for him, but he's first round.
oh, he's 100%, and that's the thing because if picking at seventh, I don't pick again till like, I mean, so it'd be like whatever 24, 25. So
Mhm.
part of me like if I take a running back, that is someone I would take the chance. It's almost like when I took Ezekiel Elliott his rookie season. Like he's gonna be
Yeah,
work, and he did. He did wonders for me. He got me to 13-1. I had him and Tom Brady on a stellar year. And it was hilarious.
yeah.
I'm like, I had a stacked team. So I will admit that is someone I am eyeing. I'm pretty sure, unless I want to piss you off, I don't think McCaffrey's really on my radar because I'm still butthurt from last year about it. But
I won't be
that's
mad. I
just me.
mean,
That
if you took McCaffrey, I'd be like, oh, thank God, I don't have to carry that cross. It's a risk. I'm saying, like, I might not take McCaffrey. Like, if it comes down to me, I might go to Derrick Henry.
Mhm. That's it. Yeah.
I might go with just Derrick Henry, like, because that Derrick Henry's gonna eat. And I know he's older, and then the metrics, like, after 32 years old, are not great. But dude, he was like a league winner last year.
Oh,
Like he
100%.
was fucking solid, and that offense is pretty much the same. There's not like a huge amount of changes. Lamar Jackson's going to run it off of Derrick Henry, so I think Derrick Henry's going to be just a set it and forget it guy. The only risk with Derrick Henry is him getting injured at that age.
True.
Same thing with
And
McCaffrey.
yeah, I mean, that's the same thing with any player. But do realize last year, based on where they were ranking before, so the season started, some people, if you went running back heavy, because Derrick Henry wasn't going until like mid second
Yeah.
round last year.
Yep.
You
Hmm.
could have got, think about this lineup you could have got. You could have got Barkley in the first round, who was kind of a late first rounder, and then Henry in the second round. And knowing what they
Hmm.
produced, you fucking won. You could have had two mid receivers and everything like that. But
Yeah. Oh yeah.
imagine having Barkley and Henry. It was just like, again, everything's hindsight, but that's the thing. You just never know. But you're right. The workhorse, the three down, the backs that catch out of the backfield, especially in PPR leagues. Yeah,
Hmm.
you're right. McCaffrey is up there. It's a shot. But yeah, there's same thing with Bijan Robinson. I know he's going to eat. Same with Barkley. So we'll see. But yeah, I 16 teams league. I've never done this in a serious league. So this will be interesting. I we'll have to see. But back to your point, you got like Roma Dunzi, whatever, fourth or fifth
Yeah.
round, something like that. It's
Hmm.
funny because this draft I just did, I always look for like two players, two or three. Like, all right, what am I going? Sometimes I'm in mind like, all right, this round I'm going to get a receiver. Let me see, because they tell you where around you're going to pick. I'm like, all right, one of these two, and
Of course.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, Rome, I'm going to get a Bears fan. I'm like, I usually don't pick Bears players. I try not to. I think just
That's
because
always fun though.
it is, but when you love that team and they do well in fantasy, I read like yell that but anyhow, I'm like I'm going to pick up Rome, and then 2 spots ahead of me, someone took Rome. It's someone that I know very well, and then a couple rounds later, I was going to pick up Kenneth Walker's handcuff, Zach
Yep.
Charbonnet. Because he does wonders
Mm-hmm.
too, and Walker gets injured on
Gotta
two
have
spots. The same guy picked him. I text him like, "Will you fucking stop taking my picks two before I do?" And he just laughed. But Soto, that's where the anxiety comes in because then you're panicking because I'm like, I had plans. And I'm like, what do I do now? What do I do now?
Well, I'll tell you right now, dude. This is my confession, fantasy football confession.
Mhm.
I really didn't do mock drafts before. I tried them out in years past. This is the first year that I've like done multiple mock drafts, and it helps me because usually on draft night, I'm up there and I'm like, I've got guys I think I'm targeting, but like I haven't practiced missing out on guys. So I feel like because of like I've been drafting at 9 in these mock drafts, and it's only 14 teams, so it's not the 16, but it's like getting me used to like, okay, if this guy that I'm targeting there goes away, okay, there's also this guy in
Yep.
that group that I'm usually around. And so doing that over and over again helps me because I can already be like, okay, if this guy goes, then this guy's who I'm going to grab. Like, so if you take Christian McCaffrey, or if Christian McCaffrey, let's say, just goes number 1 in our league,
Holy shit. I'd
um,
be surprised.
I know, but but then it's well, because people are people. You never know how they're going to be. I have backups of like, okay, well then, all right, I'll go in this direction. Or, okay, I'll go in this direction. Um, where before I just kind of make those decisions on draft night, and that can be kind of tough, especially when you're on the clock and it's 2.5 minutes, but it goes by really quick. Like if you don't know what the fuck you're trying to do,
Mhm.
it's quite daunting. And it was a few years ago where I did a draft, and it was just basically me and two kind of sheets that I had prepared, and then a bottle of whiskey.
Ooh.
And it did not go well. It did not go well. I was fucked up. And, just like we talked about with poker, it's like your ability to make good decisions just goes down. So I think mock drafts for me have been super helpful this year, to at least give me an idea of like what it looks like in certain parts of the round, what I can get, who I can target. Like I feel pretty safe that I can kind of have the strategy I have to load up on wide receivers, running backs, and maybe even a tight end, because I was able to in one mock draft to get Laporta like pretty mid to late. I'm not a big believer in Laporta because he screwed me over, but if I'm gonna get a mid to late, like I'm okay with it. And we make fun of kickers, but dude, sometimes kickers outscore tight ends,
Oh,
and tight
100%.
ends are thin as fuck. And it's a weird position. You don't want to. I know people are gonna be reaching in Bowers, right? Those are the two big guys,
Oh god, yeah.
but like really,
Well, that,
I'm reaching for a tight end never does good things for me.
no, and I agree. I try not to look for a tight end until literally after the 5th round, unless. Well, here's the other thing
Yeah.
too. Even if they start going, because you're right, tight ends are kind of like kickers. They're gonna have their games where there are moments where they score a lot, but for the most part, they're not the high scorers in your team. And kind of what
Mhm.
I did ended up doing this past one, my live draft, not the mock draft, because like you, I've been mock drafting that 7 as much as I can. Like getting a field,
Mhm.
like okay, if I do
Yep.
this receiver, how is it going to look later on? If I do this running back, but so anyhow, I was staying away, even though I reached for a QB, and I'm like, I gotta push tight end back a little bit because again, not that I reached, I just in the moment felt like something was happening, and I wanted more of an elite QB than a mid QB because I was looking at how my team is. I'm like, if I'm set at QB, and again, I know anything can happen, but I'm like, I don't need to worry about this. I'll get the one streaming, blah blah blah. But it's funny because I think I picked up my tight end. I got Engram, who I'm not saying is elite, but in Denver,
Mhm.
he put up some numbers yet, last year, decent. I think I ended up getting him in the 8th or 9th round because I started looking at the people, who were drafted. What happened was like in between. Because again, with second, you kind of, and I'm like, they all have tight ends. They're not going to pick any tight ends. They're going, so I'm like, I can push it, I'm like, I can push the tight end position a couple rounds. Let me keep loading up on whatever receivers. I think that's why I went with
Mhm.
Golden. I went with Mason. I'm like, let me just load these up because they're not going for tight ends. I can get someone there, and I kind of looked. I'm like, okay, I had my kind of close was coming back to back. I'm like, I'm going to get this person. This guy shouldn't take a tight end. Then I'll get Ingram, and that's kind of what happened. I am not
Mhm.
reaching. You will not see me take a tight end in the first probably 4 rounds. I mean, I know everyone's
No.
high on Bowers, but I'm like, I feel like the tight end position's not worth that high of a pick. I know you took Laporta. What wasn't it second round last year? Wasn't it? Didn't you do it that
It
high?
was an insane, yeah. And he was there, like that was his average draft position, and I was like, I had stars in my eyes, and I took him. I also feel like I made a mistake with taking Josh Allen. Now, Josh Allen did definitely score me a lot of points, but you get to the point where it's like, oh my god, this guy's like the next, ADP, and you see a great quarterback there, and you kind of, I saw stars in my eyes. But I'm not doing that this year. I'm not reaching for a quarterback that early. I'm not reaching for a tight end that early. Like I need volume guys.
Yeah.
I just think that Laporta, him having such a down year, put me behind the eight ball because I had chosen him way too high, where I could have gotten way more value from somebody else at that same exact level, like in wide receiver, running back, and that's going to be my big focus this year. Is I'm not going to get fucked, or I'm not going to have stars in my eyes, but that's because I didn't practice.
Yeah.
And if you don't practice, like you kind of like you're at the mercy of like your first instinct on the night where you're live and you can't make that mistake. You're making that mistake right there, and you really want to make your mistakes when you're doing your mocks, so that way you can get there and it's okay. So this is the first year that I'm actually like taking this seriously.
Yeah, I think I definitely did mock drafts a lot my first 2 years playing, especially my first year, because I was trying to figure out how it would work. I remember the first time I ever played, I'm like, how the fuck does it? So at least I got, and I
Yeah.
know in the middle, like I didn't really do much mock drafts. I'm like, I'll just see who's there. But yeah, I would say the difference in our league that I will do similar to you, like with it being 16 team leagues, you have to load up on wide receivers and running backs. You need a little bit more
Hmm.
depth. And you're right, that QB position, it's a little, because when you're in a 10 or 12, it's a different value. When
Hmm.
but when you're in 16, you need, because you never know. 'Cause like you said, you reached for Laporta, but you weren't filling in a wide receiver, or running back, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yep.
That's right. You took McCaffrey, so you took McCaffrey first, and I could have sworn you told me you took Laporta second. So now you're in the
I probably
third.
did.
Now you're in the
Yeah.
third round looking for receivers in a three wide receiver
Yes.
league, and that's the thing. It's not
Yes.
like
And
two
it
and
was
two.
painful.
Yes. And then, but you're right, QBs, yeah, you know what? There are some that are going to get more consistent, supposedly. And obviously, anything happened like 2025 where you mentioned Drake, but that Drake might get 15 to 18 and maybe more. But you need those receivers because, yes, you don't want your third receiver getting you 4 points, but that's the best you got because you took a receiver in like this, your third receiver in like the eighth or ninth round. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I can't in a 16 team league. You have to load up and hope. That's the other thing. Just hope not injured and maybe a handcuff or a second or third receiver just starts popping
Yeah.
off and becomes a receiver one. So it's tough.
Because then it's like I end up scrambling like for the whole season playing the waiver wire. I don't want to do this because in this 16 team league, the waiver wire is not great. Like it's dry in the waiver wires. So it opens you up to having to do trades, but I'm not going to be fucking worrying about the waiver wire like I do because I was able to patch things together by doing things on the fly, and I think I ended up getting probably just outside the money. I think it was like fourth or fifth place or
Yeah, no,
some
you
shit
made
like
the
that. And
playoffs. Yeah, you should, yeah,
I made the playoffs, but dude, it was a struggle, and it was a struggle because I made those mistakes up front for the whole year.
mm. No,
I
in
don't
my
want to do
post
that.
office league, I'm going to let this team, unless something happens, my team ride. Just see the first few weeks, see if any of the handcuffs
Mhm.
do well, and then when I need to, um, just basically stream a QB tight end defense, just see like, all right, maybe this guy I'll make that switch there. I don't think I'm going to switch much unless someone gets injured. But yeah, in that 16 team league, you can't, and we'll see. We'll see how it happens. It's gonna be fun. We are definitely, if you're still in for it, we'll stream it live. We'll just talk as we go, make fun of each other, make fun of other
Yeah, of
teams. Just see. I mean, obviously it'll be
course.
more laid back. I'll have my fan on. You can have your AC. If someone join, if
Oh,
people
thank
join, they
God.
join. No, I mean that's. I would say that's a little, for lack of better terms, for us. We don't need to be professional, not let anything we do is professional. We're having fun, but you know what I mean. Be
Hmm.
relaxed, have a few drinks, be like, hey, I'm taking a bathroom break. Well, I just want to see how it all looks. And it'll just be fun. But no,
It
I'm
should be
looking
quite
forward.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it'll be interesting. Yeah, football starts. I mean, let's put it this way, Soto. By next weekend, we're going to talk about how maybe the start of Thursday and Friday, because there's a Friday game too, which threw me off. I didn't realize
What?
that. Yes, because I looked at the only reason I know this is because I'm trying to pull up my team right now. Is one of my players, the Chargers receiver. God, was it McConkey? He's
Yeah.
playing on Friday. Sorry, I'm kind of pulling this up right now. Yeah, so he play
Yeah.
Chargers at KC Friday night 8 p.m.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, I mean,
Good,
then I'm
good
like,
defense.
so yeah, Philly's playing. I forget who they're playing Thursday. Dallas. So yeah, there's gonna be by the time next week rolls around, we're gonna be talking about two games and getting ready for. I don't know who I'm facing first round in our league, or you. Obviously, I know we'll face each other like twice, which would be
We
hilarious.
will.
If
That'll be
it's week
quite
one, we'd
interesting.
be like, yeah, I can't
I
wait.
know
But
it's not week one because week one, I think I'm playing Drink You Pretty or something like that because I have it up right now. And
oh, I didn't know if the matchups were definite because I know there's only 14 teams that have
yeah, they
paid.
might not.
So
Oh,
I did because that if you look at League Safe, the amount of money,
yeah.
it's only 14 teams, two teams, because based on what I know, the commissioner, I think he had to double up. I don't know if someone gets him money and then he puts it in. I don't know how that worked.
Yeah.
But if you look at League Safe, the money that's in there is for only 14 teams. And so I'm like, I don't know when the cutoff was. So yeah, I'm not until it's official. I'm not gonna worry about it because right now, yeah, for me, it doesn't even say I have a matchup. I think so. I'll just wait. It just
For me, it shows week three is when you and I would be going against each other.
how do you pulling that up? Because I can't even see that. Like I go to matchup, it just says you have no matchup. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no,
If I just kind of, yeah,
for me it
week
doesn't
one
say.
matchups, it'd be you going against two girls, one cup. Who that's dude, that's one of the best guys in our league. Um, and then you go against Gonna Drink You Pretty, who is my friend Sean, who actually got me the job at SPLI.
Interesting.
And yeah, Midnight Express is Dan,
Okay.
and Dan has, he's got an interesting. Dan will try to throw you some interesting trades. That's for sure. He's very active
Trades
on
are
the
so
trade.
hard. Trades are so hard because you.
Well, both people have to win. That's the thing. It's like it's not
Yeah.
like, oh, you're trying to screw somebody. It's like any good trade, any good negotiation, both people have to walk away knowing that they compromised, but that
Hmm.
they ultimately got something that they needed. But a lot of people were like, no, I'm going to get one over on you, man. It's like, no, because if you end up being the kind of asshole that just screws people over, nobody's going to want to trade with you.
Yeah, I think I actually did a trade last year. Because again, my team was injured and I lost a lot of games by like not even close. Like I never got blown out. I was just because of the injuries. 6 points, 8 points, 10. So it was just like, but I was still kind of in it. And this other guy, he was worse than me at that time. So we both were like, all right, we got to make a move. And he gave me Nico Collins was injured and I weirdly enough he was trying to. So I gave him Nico Collins, and he gave me St. Brown. I'm on, and I'm like, all right, I'm like if Nico, and I forgot if there's something else in the trade, but yeah, St. Brown went off that week, and I did okay, but then I just did whatever. Kenneth Walker was injured. Injuries just both my main running backs were injured. That's the thing. McCaffrey and Walker, the first two I took for
Yeah.
running backs were just gone, and I didn't have their backups. I didn't have their handcuffs, and I was just streaming whoever I could, and I think that's just what killed me. So I do understand if you get that one strong or who you feel is a strong running back, you can just slot that in, and then you're good. You're good for the rest because you can just worry about receivers and maybe get a somewhat second decent back for a flex. If it's the choice is right, but excuse me, I don't know. It's one of those things. My Sundays are going to be kind of cooked, coaching football. So by the time I get home, like 4 or 5 o'clock, I'm gonna look. I'm like, okay, here's where I'm at. It's not like there's not gonna be the first few weeks. I'm just gonna, you know, kind of wait and see. Not like last year where I'm sitting, I got my, probably like you, my laptop, my phone, everything. I'm going to watch the game, check my fantasy team here, blah, blah, blah,
Oh
TV.
God.
I'm not going to be able to
Oh,
do that for the first 4 or 5 weeks, but you're telling me you don't do that? You know, if you're just at home watching games, you got your phone
I
and
do.
shit out.
I do.
Yeah, yeah,
I
that's
do. Of
just how we
course I
are.
do. That's how Sundays are. Like, and if I'm somewhere, I used to be working on Sundays and I'd be at work and I'd be double checking my scores and being like, whatever. Because, like, you never know what's going to happen, dude. Like, someone's going to get injured this weekend and it's going to ruin somebody's fantasy football season.
Hmm. Yeah, hopefully it's
It
not
just
ours.
happens all the time.
Hopefully I see you in the
Hopefully it's not,
finals.
but man,
Hopefully.
it's always a risk, man. Like, this is a dangerous game. And, that's why, these picks like CMC and all this shit this high, it's like, ugh. Remember, is it Brees Hall? Remember that guy?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's still the starting back. So
But he's not anywhere near where he was.
no,
Or
well,
Tyreek
no.
Hill.
Yeah, because it was 2 years ago he had his breakout season. Last year in my postal league, there's one player who knows what he's doing, but he'll take the wild chances. So it's like he'll hit really well, or you'd be like, "What the fuck are you thinking?" And now go back to like drafting last year. He took Brees Hall, I think, with like the second pick. This is why McCaffrey fell to me in third. The first two, I was like, okay, this is probably going to be whatever. I think it was like, wasn't it Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson were the popular first two, 1 and 2, if I remember correctly last
Hmm.
year. So I'm like, and then so I'm looking, I'm like, I will take. That's right, because I'm like, I'll either take Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, McCaffrey, whichever one of those three falls to me, I will take. And the guy fucked up with pick one because he couldn't get on, and he had somehow still in the queue Debo Samuel, so he got that as the first pick, and then Brees Hall goes pick number two. So yes, I had Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Christian McCaffrey all to choose from at pick three, and I panicked because at that again this league I'm like I gotta take McCaffrey. It's fucking McCaffrey. Yeah, he's injured, but he'll be healthy. They say he's gonna start, and that's why I took McCaffrey. And think about that, Jamar Chase went like fourth. So
Yeah.
and yeah, he took Brees Hall. I ended up getting Braylon Allen, who did his handcuff will do well if he gets in. I think 1 week he did, but for the most part, yeah, he wasn't what he was, but he still did all right last year. I'm not saying he didn't do what he did the year before though. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It all depends on how Justin Fields does. I mean, fuck, I did not think Fields was going to get like a $40 million contract for 2 years. $20 million for
I mean,
Justin Fields. I mean, good for
like,
him. Good for
for
him.
what?
Right, that's what they paid him. It's the Jets.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Jets.
know I got Garrett Wilson on mine. He wasn't he's my receiver two at the moment. I mean, if Golden does
Yeah.
well, he'll fall to, like, we'll see. But I'm like, sometimes when you're the only throwing option and you're getting, you get the volume, you're at least going to get some numbers. So even if he's my wide receiver three, that's fine at the moment, but we'll see. But yes, let the anxiety start. Let everything start. Let just see like, oh, what the fuck's
Oh
that football?
God. The
How the
last
Bears
weekend. The last weekend of peace. Oh, oh my
until what?
God.
Until February. Until the Super Bowl. All right, until fantasy's over. When fantasy and me coaching's over, I'm like, you know what? I don't need to worry. How's my Bears doing? That's all I'm gonna care. They're shitting the bed. Okay, I don't even care now. I'm good. I can be happy because I will tell you when I got knocked out. I know you're still in it. I'm like, there is that sense of relief. Yeah, you didn't win anything, but I'm like, I don't have to worry about shit. I can watch football for football's sake. So
So speaking of football, for football's sake, are you perhaps ready to make another Super Bowl pick like last year with your Chiefs?
So I'm going to tell you something real quick.
Uh-huh.
And we got, going to say hi to someone in the chat. Reflect the Sun. Hi, what's going on? Nice to join you, or joining us, I
Hello.
should say. I haven't thought about the Super Bowl picks, but on DraftKings, you know how they always have like those free bets and stuff like. I know you don't do DraftKings, but you can do a lot of free bets, and I've earned
I'm
some
aware.
money like last year. That's how we did all that shit. So I've
Yeah.
earned a lot of money where I've actually placed, I think, because it's just like I got free bets. I got all these free bets, and I placed 10 bets for Super Bowl winners because I kept getting like $5 free bets. I'm like, fuck it. Well, my goal is like, I'm going to pick 10, all these teams, and one of them's got to win. Worst case scenario, if one of them wins, I'm winning 30, like the lowest is $35, the highest is
Nice.
$150. So it's hilarious because I'm like, okay, let me pull this up, Soto, in a moment. But I I know last year I said the Chiefs. I don't think I can pick the Chiefs this year. Um, I think that's just crazy. But who do you see? Well, I will do an official pick, but who do you see being in the Super Bowl this year? What is if you had to put your $5 on a matchup? Who do you think AFC and NFC?
Oh, geez, AFC and NFC.
Well, you got
Good
to pick this.
lord.
Yeah, you're
I know.
picking
I'm
this.
like thinking of like who's it's like because like in the AFC, it's still like the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Ravens. I think is like the three
Yeah,
teams, unless there's another team that you can think of that's coming up. But next year, it's like I mean, the Eagles have got to be up there for the NFC.
I think they can
Yeah,
repeat.
the
Yeah,
Lions should be there, but they have a completely different offensive team
and
or
defensive
offensive
coordinator.
coaching
They
staff.
both
Yeah,
coordinators left them.
but yeah, so you have the Lions, and they're in a really tough division with the fucking Packers now getting Michael Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Bears, you should expect them to be, better with Ben Johnson
Hopefully
as
better.
QB, not the QB
Hopefully,
as the coach.
I know what you mean.
And the Vikings have a good defense still too, although their quarterback's gonna suck.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Justin
So
Jefferson can make him look.
NFC to me is really still just yeah, it's the Eagles and who the hell would even be coming up right now for the NFC? Because the Niners aren't as good as they used to be. Um, I'm gonna have to go with the Eagles. It's pretty boring. I don't really know. And then somebody from the NFC North would be like
Oh, you're
kind
thinking
of
the NFC
what my
Championship
contention
game.
would be. No, I'm thinking like one of those two teams goes to the Super Bowl.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm with you on the Eagles. I, I know last year my pick was Chiefs and Lions before the season started. I just
Mhm.
felt like if the Lions were going to do it last year would have been the year, and they did finish. They finished 15-2, and so did Minnesota, which was a fucking shock.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's just so funny that Minnesota got like the fifth seed out of 15-2. Yeah, I don't think Lions and Vikings are going to be 15-2 again. You're right about the defense. The defenses in that division is going to be insane.
Yeah.
Because Minnesota's defense is
Okay.
going to be the same. But yes, Parsons with the Packers. Bears have, I know Eberflus got a lot of shit, but if you look at the numbers, the defense has gotten better. And
Yeah.
Detroit's
Absolutely.
the iffy one for me because, yeah, they lost both their coordinators. But I'm with you. I feel like it is a boring pick. The Eagles is the team. I think the Eagles are going to go back to back. If I'm actually, I'm picking them to win the Super Bowl again. Now, like a few years ago, Cincinnati went to the Super Bowl. They were like, I don't want to say the shock team, but they just, they beat the
Mhm.
Chiefs. They were on a run. I don't know if anyone in the NFC could, but you never know. Someone like the Lions or, Packers or Bears, that NFC North just could have the run of their life, like the Giant, So it is possible. But if I had to put my money, it's the Eagles. AFC, you're right. It's
Mhm.
always going to be Chiefs, Bills, and Ravens. And a part of me thinks we're going to see the Ravens this year. I think the Bills are going to fuck it up
Think
again.
so?
I don't think that, Chiefs, I think it's Chiefs. Something tells me, I feel like the Ravens will make, Lamar Jackson's going to make one Super Bowl. Well, then I don't think he's going to win. I'm still saying Eagles are going to win. I know the Chiefs are going to get their shit together because of what happened last year. And I know it's not a lot of people are gonna hate, I know you hate on the Chiefs, but I think they're gonna still be strong. But Chiefs
I'm okay
Ravens
with
will be
them.
the AFC championship. But I something tells me it's finally going to be the Ravens year. I don't trust the Bills. I don't trust Josh Allen as much. I think Ravens are better put together offensively and defensively at the moment. Because I know
We think so.
I think because isn't Shakir hurt and they lost Diggs. Um, Yes, I'm sorry. I'm
Lamar,
reading
yeah.
the chat. Henry Seagal. Yes, Will Shipley. Maybe he will play a little bit more, but it's the Barkley. It's all going to be Saquon Barkley at the moment. Um,
Yeah.
but if he gets injured, Will Shipley is going to go off. I handcuff. I have Will Shipley, so I do not wish injury on anyone.
They
But
happen.
I do have Will Shipley kind of stashed
It
away on my
happen.
bench. Yeah, so part of me, as boring as it sounds, I'm with you. Not one in the NFC, I think, can match up with the Eagles again. Now,
Hmm.
Shocks can happen. But something tells me this is Lamar's year. I said that last year with Josh Allen. Like I felt like Josh Allen. I just don't think the Bills are going to be the same. I think the Chiefs are going to get their shit together. But I think the Ravens.
I think so too.
I feel like right now, if you're asking me to pick, and I know we did this last year every week, Eagles Ravens. I think that's where we're going to go at the
I
moment.
mean, I think it kind of has to be for Lamar Jackson at this point because it's getting to the point where it's like he should have gotten to the next level by now. But to his credit, the Chiefs have kind of always been the way. I think the Chiefs are going to be a little bit better than they were last year. I still think that the Chiefs are in a level, and then it's the Ravens and Bills underneath. So that's kind of like what I'm leaning towards right now. I think the Chiefs still have a pretty good defense. Um,
Oh, they do.
and
100% they do.
yeah, I think they're still going to be like the AFC kind of like the upper crust, but again, yeah, I think if the Eagles don't, it'll be somebody from the NFC North, and
I think it's the shock year, like the Bengals, 4 years ago. You're correct. And I do, because I can't see it east or west or south. I can't think of any NFC team that can break that threshold. Like Green Bay. Green Bay, as much as I hate the Packers, and you know it, they always find a way every now and then. They don't make. um, I don't know.
yeah,
We'll see. You're right. The NFC North is just a weird division but if one of those teams go on a roll, and that's the only way.
mhm,
But if I had to pick, I pick the Eagles to go back and back. I'm with you. Chiefs are always going to be up there. I think they're going to smarten up from what happened last year. They still have a decent defense, and their offense
yeah,
they got embarrassed in the Super Bowl. So they're going to get their shit together. But something tells me with the way the Ravens defense is playing and the offense can control the ball. And I think that's just going to be insane. Just to see Derrick Henry versus Saquon Barkley in the fucking Super Bowl. But yeah, and
bang
Bengals,
up,
I
yeah,
know people are saying could say Bengals as well, but Bengals will have a high powered offense. Bengals don't have a defense. So yeah.
they do
I,
not.
but if I had to pick right now, if I had to put a money on a matchup, it's Eagles defeating Ravens. But yeah, so back to your thing. I did. I put 10 bets. Like I even put a five. Because I got all these fucking free bets off DraftKings and $5. Like I'm good. So yeah, if the Bears win, it's $175. I did put the Ravens $35. I even have the command. Now that I said that, no, because yeah, McLaughlin re-signed with Commanders. So if everyone's happy, I don't know. Jaden Daniels surprised a lot of people. If he stays the same, that might be. I know we said NFC North. That might be the only shot team. I would not put money on it, but if someone could do it, maybe. The
Yeah,
Commander.
I agree.
Just. But if Daniels has like the C.J. Stroud second year, like he did, yeah, no, Commanders aren't going fucking anywhere. Um, yeah, Bengals lost. I mean, all right, reflect the sun. Bengals lost to the Patriots.
We sure did. I saw that game. It was awesome. It was
So yeah,
hilarious.
there's a few games that they should have won. I know they were going through contract disputes, if I remember, with Jamar Chase and Higgins last year. But yeah, there's a few games that they lost that they shouldn't have lost by a field goal, and you know what? That tells you every game counts because that's the thing. The if the Bengals would have beat the Pats, and we joked about this, remember, Bengals would have made the playoffs last year, and the Patriots would have had the number one pick. They wouldn't have had to worry
Oh
about
my
the
god,
last.
I know.
All that would have happened, all because
Mhm.
somehow Gerard Mayo coached and won the very first game of the season. So that just tells you every game fucking counts in the NFL, and that's why I love
Sure
the
does.
NFL. It stresses me out, fantasy and my Bears, my sad Bears, which I'll see what happens this year. I'll keep my hope. We'll see what happens in 3-4 weeks. But last year,
Yeah.
the whole NFC North after 5-6 weeks were strong, and then the Bears
Mhm.
gave up the Hail Mary and said, "Yeah, fuck the rest of the season." So
Yeah, that fucked their whole entire
yeah,
energy up for the entire year. They never recovered from that blunder. Like it was everywhere in their energy. But again, Caleb Williams, I mean, I think is gonna. I'm feeling like he's gonna have a bounce back, especially with the new coach. So we'll see.
well, that's the one thing. Johnson wanted the fact that he chose the Bears because of Caleb Williams. That was one of the reasons he says he knows how to game plan for him. There's that hope. But as a diehard Bears fan, I will believe it when I see it. Yes, there's some things I saw obviously
Yeah.
preseason, but I don't, light that candle highly at preseason. Shit,
Hmm.
they were playing the Bill starters on defense, but not the Bill starters on offense. So we'll see. Like I said, it's just if Caleb can just keep it together. He got hit. He got sacked 70 times though. I mean, come on. Um,
A lot.
so so I'm looking at the chat. I can never pronounce the game. Manan guy, is he going to be a beast? If Swift goes down, yes. Swift still has the starting job. I think Swift's actually going to have a lot higher value in fantasy. He's someone I'm eyeing to get in a mid
Yeah, me too.
round that
Yep.
could shock a lot of people because of the way Ben Johnson runs his offense.
Yep.
Um,
Hmm.
I'm not high on any Bears tight ends because they got two. Because it could be 1 week Komet, 1 week their new Loveland. But if a Bears tight end
Yeah.
goes down, if you have the other one, holy shit. So like I said, no, because
Yeah.
you're gonna see a lot of I think DJ Moore is not going to be as high up. I think he will get his numbers, but I think this is going to be a very spread around offense. I think Rome is the sleeper if you're
Hmm.
going to pick a receiver, but
Yeah.
I think the Bears tight ends, unless you have both, which you should not be drafting two tight ends like that. Um,
Do not. Do not do. Well, actually, if you're playing against me, please do.
Yes, but I even Combat
In
last
our
year had a
league.
few games, but the fact that they have two very good tight ends, I think that's the problem because yeah, Combat's got the size. Loveland, I've
Yeah.
had a little bit more. So you never know which way Ben Johnson's going to go with his tight ends. I think with Laporta, going back to what you did happen last year or the year before with Laporta, yeah, he was the main guy. But yeah, if Komet gets injured or if Loveland gets injured, if you see the other one on the waiver wire, pick that guy up. But Swift is someone like I'm not wasting the first three. If he falls to the fifth round to me, sixth round, yeah, he's not. He's going to be a strong RB2. Injury aside, obviously all this could happen. But he's what on year two on his contract. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, Monin guy, I can never say that name, could be a sleeper. Do not pick up Rashawn Johnson. I think he was good a couple years ago as a good backup, but yeah, no, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But it's why I love football. You never know who's going to step up. You never know who's going to be there. So
Never know who's going to get injured. Yeah. It just, you never know. I mean, you and I talked about it all last year. It's like you got to understand like how the handcuffs work in order to have like long-term success throughout the year. There's no way you're not going to get through shit without having a handcuff here or there in your flex that carries you through some of these like bye weeks or anything like that. Like, you never know.
and again, I'm going to go back to chat. Yes, he hasn't been durable, but that's also because of the Bears' offensive line. He's not going to. They're not going to ask. How did I say this? As much of him, but they're going to use him, and so it's going to
Mm.
be very protective of him. Again, he could all of a sudden just break into a week, and we'll see what his backups can do. But I think they're going to rely on Swift. I think Swift's going to surprise you. Like I said, I'm not saying he's going to be a top back in the league. I'm just talking about, yeah, if you need that second or third back to throw in on a flex, Swift's going to surprise a lot of people this year, the way Ben Johnson runs
Yeah.
his offense.
Hmm.
But I don't think he's going to be like a power. They don't need him to be a McCaffrey. They don't need him to be a Barkley. They're going to spread the ball around. So yeah, I do not
Right.
pick him up for like an RB1, fringe RB2. But if you need a flex spot or you need a streamer back and Swift's there, I'm just saying it right now. Swift's going to surprise some people. Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm not saying he's as durable as some of these strong, backs, but he's definitely going to be there. Um, but yeah, I don't know. So Soto, let me ask you. You've done a lot of mock drafts, and I know jokingly we kind of
Hmm.
started this. You're looking at McCaffrey at 9. But if you were to, who else? Who have you? Not. I'm not having you give me pointers on this. I'm not trying to spy
Hmm.
on your team or your thoughts. But if you were to go your
You can.
receiver,
Yeah.
who? I know. In our mock draft, in your mock drafts or for our draft, if you were going to take a receiver, what
Yeah.
receiver has been falling to you a lot at 9 that you've been liking? If you were going to take receiver with your first pick,
It probably. I am kind of. I don't know. Like, why am I iffy on Malik Neighbors? Like, why
Giants.
do I feel like?
I'm not.
Yeah.
Something tells me. Like I will tell you this for like the seventh pick. A lot of times I'm more high on St. Brown than Nico Collins, but that's because Nico Collins kind of
Yeah.
fucked me last year. Um,
I'm not into Nico Collins at all. I feel like he's made of glass, to be quite honest with you.
mhm. I mean, he did some
Like I
numbers
wouldn't.
last year until he got hurt. Yeah, no, and I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, St. Brown for Detroit's what I've been seeing at 7th. But I don't know what's fallen to 9th in your mock drafts. I know you've been looking at a lot
Like
at
Drake
like
London has been an option too, like either Drake London or Brian Thomas. Um, if
didn't
I'm
you
not
have
going to
London
go
last year
elite.
as well? Was that or was that a different Falcon? Didn't you have him?
No,
I thought you
I
had a
don't think I had
Falcons
Drake
receiver
London
for
last
some
year.
reason.
I did. It was asshole. It was this other guy who used to be on the Bears, who I hate.
I can't remember.
Rooney.
Oh, Mooney. That's right. Darnell Mooney.
Mooney.
That's right. I forgot about him.
Dude.
You're right.
I
You
don't
did pick
want
him
that.
in.
I don't want no Calvin Ridleys. I don't want no
Oh my
Darnell
god.
Mooney's. Like those guys just take up so much shit on your roster because they're like too good to sit or drop, but they don't produce shit for you. That's what Darnell Mooney. I am not going to draft Darnell Mooney this year. I've not seen him in any of my mock drafts. No, no. Just no.
I forget. Yeah, those kind of you get one awesome week and then that's it. So yeah, you can't. It's tough. There's no
No.
I totally forgot about Darnell Mooney for some reason. Oh my god. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I wouldn't draft him. I'm not high on Nico just because I saw what he did last. Like I said, he started out well last year. But at 7th, if I take a receiver based on my mock drafts, if it falls to 7th, it is going to be St. Brown on the Lions. But like I said,
Yeah.
there's something about Genty and the Raiders. I know it's a little bit. He's in the 12 to 13 range, but in a 16 team league, you got to make that first pick. There's just something I've like, and I wanted to get him in my other league. I just had the second pick. I was not going to waste pick 2 on Genty. There's just no way. But at the 7th pick, like depending on how the running back situation is looking at that moment, I might take Genty at 7 just because I'm not picking again for so fucking long, like another whatever it is, 16, 17 picks. So I will tell you right now, if it's receiver, the way it's been going, St. Brown. But yeah, I'll be honest with you. Unless something tells me Genty's gonna have a beast year. Now that I've said that, yeah, he'll get injured week 1 and I'll be fucked.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But the Raiders, it's the offense is going to go through him, right? So he's definitely going to get the volume, which is all you can ask for.
Well, that's why I was like Chuba Hubbard in Carolina. Again, not as a back one, but you know what? He got me some numbers a couple years ago just because, again, shitty teams rely on their running backs. They'll get you some numbers. So, yep. Oh my God. So, but yeah, so we'll live stream our fantasy Tuesday. It's at 8:00. I don't, like I said, I don't expect people to join it. I think it'll be hilarious. I know we'll talk shit. We'll probably be drinking a little bit. I don't know how much you'll be drinking. I'll have a little. I do.
Oh, I definitely will be.
I got to work Wednesday morning.
Beer. No hard liquor.
I got to get up, but I'll have. I'll have the same mind. Yes. It's football. But yeah, we'll definitely live draft that. So, but one other thing happening this weekend, kind of changing course. I know we'll probably quickly. You wanted to talk about it a little bit. Do you have any plans on watching the WWE's Clash of Paris tomorrow? Like, and honestly, we were watching wrestling for a while. But for some reason, I think once they are like going to ESPN, we're like, no. I don't know. I kind of had a look. I know a little what's going on, but looked up the card. There's only 5 matches on this, by the way, Soto. But yeah, are you planning on watching
I might get ESPN. I might get ESPN, and I'll let you know, and then I'll give you my
we'll talk about
login
that.
for it.
We'll see.
Yeah. That's right, ESPN. We're stealing shit, bitch. Yeah, I don't know. I have a passing interest. I mean, I'm looking at the card right now, and it doesn't look very interesting, to be quite honest. I thought that Stephanie Vacker was going to be in this, but I guess everything that happened with Naomi kind of fucked all that up.
Yeah, so Vacker, they're going to do a battle royale on like Monday Night Raw, and that winner of that or SmackDown, I forget which, will face Vacker. They'll have a championship match. So yeah, she got screwed out of this Paris crowd, but they couldn't do anything that last second. It's unfortunate for her. It's a big money match.
I mean, I might watch, like, I don't know, it might be on in the background. I mean, okay, Cena versus Paul, all right. Some here. there's only one women's match on here tomorrow. Is that correct?
Correct. Well, no, yeah, because
In
there was supposed to
Naked
be
Belt?
two. And, the championship
Yeah.
match, the four-way. I'm like, well, Rollins is retaining. There's no way, in or fight. And yeah,
There's no
John's.
way.
I think people thought because of Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, people thought Cena versus Lesnar. And yeah, Cena's run
Oh
as
yeah.
heel kind of sucked. So he doesn't have
Oh,
many.
wasted.
Yeah, they don't have many dates left for him. But I think something might have happened where they had to throw in Logan Paul for this. Which whatever, Cena will get the win. I just Sheamus versus these guys have been fighting forever, but they're calling it a good old fashioned Donnybrook. I don't know why that's
Yeah.
hilarious to me. But yeah, Lynch and Bella. Bella's coming back from the Divas era, but Lynch is. I know. And Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed has been stealing Roman Reigns' shoes and made him into a shoe falla instead of the falla.
Yeah, I
So,
saw that.
I'll see what happens, but I have no interest. Like, if I hear there's a good match or shenanigans, I'll check it out. But yeah, there's no way I'm watching this. There's just nothing's intrigued me since SummerSlam.
Well, I put it on. Like I'll put it on and have it in the background. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
I mean, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean,
That's what
I,
I
I don't know if it's just bad, promotion going on or just what's going on, but this is just not an interesting card for me. I'll be
No,
happy
it's
when
not.
Survivor Series and War Games comes around. That's
Mhm.
when it starts to pick up again. But I don't know. WWE has its hits and misses, and I feel like there's a miss. There's nothing that I was like, God, I gotta friggin' watch this. And the main event will probably be fun. It's just predictable. There's just they just gave Rollins,
Shenanigans.
yeah. There, I maybe shenanigans, but I think it's just more or less two of the others will fight each other, and Jey Uso will lead the pin. But there's just no way Rollins is losing this. That he just got it.
No.
He's the head heel on Monday Night Raw. Yeah, that faction needs to go. So it's just everything just seems predictable, and I hate predictability, which means something's gonna weirdly happen. Sometimes there's shenanigans that surprise you. So, but we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, I'll see what happens, and I'll catch it on YouTube after whatever I need to see. So, but that's about it. Oh, but any other plans for this weekend? This is a holiday weekend here. You have any other plans? Or are you just gonna chill the next couple
Uh,
days?
I'm chilling. I'm gonna watch Thunderbolts as we discussed.
Yep, that's on
Um, I might
my
watch
plate.
that right after this. I'm not sure. We'll see. But yeah, I'm still like, I'm in the last act of Baldur's Gate. I have never gotten this far in Baldur's Gate. The first time I played it, I stopped at the third act. So I'm trying to just beat it, just to just say I've beaten it. Um, and yeah, I'm just gonna. My whole plan is to do nothing but stay home this weekend because the next like 4 weekends, like I have completely booked up with shit that's going on. So I
Damn.
think actually, yeah, now that I think about it, next weekend, which would be Saturday, I will not be here because I will be doing um I'll be going to the air show up in Portsmouth, Thunder over New Hampshire. So I bought these tickets not this year. I bought them last year. So I've had these tickets for oh god, a long time. And so I'll be there all day, and then the Saturday after that, I'll be up in Ossipee as on a little bit of family reunion on Sarah's side. So the next 2 Saturdays, I will not be around.
So we not returning for 3 weeks? Is that the case? Is that what I'm learning right now? Damn.
I
We're gonna
yeah,
have.
because you know how this goes. Because I'm like, I never look at my calendar, but then it's like I start thinking about it. I'm like, wait a second, I got shit going on the next 2 Saturdays. Like, what the fuck?
Well, we'll be
So
putting up
yeah,
some old podcasts on Spotify, after it's pretty much we do in the office.
thinking.
Yeah. I'm not carrying this on
Yeah.
my own. I can't do this without you. So,
No.
no, but yeah, no, I mean, obviously, yes, today is my anniversary. Once we get off here, I'm going to talk to Jill, see what we're doing for dinner, whether we're going out or ordering La Coretta in. That's kind of our choices. But
Ooh.
yeah, no, I told her, I said,
Ah.
next 2 days I am off. I have no plans. Whatever you want to do, we'll just, just chill at home because sometimes just chilling at home can be fun. But yeah, I need to take a break these 2 days because the draft Tuesday and now me coaching, Wednesdays and Fridays and
Yeah.
it's just going to be a lot of football the next 4 months. It's going to be like,
Football,
okay,
and then we got to get movies in.
that's
Still
also,
got to get our movies in.
that's a separate thing. That's easy. We're getting to the point. I don't want to say I'm getting burned out by it, but it's just like Thank you. I will watch Thunderbolts. That will
It,
happen.
it's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. But
So we just
yeah.
need 64 movies and we finished the 200 movie challenge. So we're getting there. But no, I'm excited. So yeah, we'll have the next 2 weeks off from doing it live on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify, yeah, we'll probably be putting up a couple old ones. Oh, thank you. Yes, appreciate it. 11 years for us. It's been a, as Soda can say, marriage has been a good trip for us. If we weren't married, God
Mm-hmm.
knows where we would be right now.
Oh, Jesus
Probably
Christ,
owning a
yeah.
video store, just bitching about life. I mean, you just be side by.
Yep.
We'd have each other, Soto. That's about it. We'd be drunk and having each other. We'd be like, what the fuck's going on? No, but I appreciate the happy anniversary, reflect. But yeah, so, it's been good. But yeah, I guess we'll take 2 weeks off and in a few weeks we'll catch up on a lot of fantasy football. And God knows what else is happening at that time. We'll still be
September 20th. Yeah, that'll be a ways away. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll still be recording our 200 movie challenges on Thursdays, and yeah, so we still got movies in our future. I am curious about Thunderbolts, and God knows what else I'll be watching. Probably some more shit. I've seen a lot of shit recently, Soto, but that's for a different
Yeah.
podcast. So, um,
Velocipaster.
yeah, well, but take some pictures of the air show. I'll ask you about it in a few weeks.
Well,
I'll ask you if you saw
yeah.
any birds as well. But that
Oh yeah, birds every day. Yeah, sure. These are big metal ones, but yeah, we'll talk about birds anytime you want.
it won't be a long conversation on my end. So. But that'll do it for
Sure.
We Have Thoughts. Yeah, not much. We're getting ready for the football season. That's pretty much where we're at. But thank you to those who've joined us in chat, those who are listening on Spotify, those who might be listening afterwards. As we say, just leave a comment about a topic. We'll talk about it. We're going to be off for a couple weeks, but we'll return. Sounds like, what did you say, September 20th? So
September 20th.
yeah,
Yes.
we'll return. We'll have a lot to catch up. That might be a 2-hour podcast now that it's been a few weeks. So, we have a lot. I got to talk about your extracurricular activities and your plans here. So, but thank you again.
Absolutely.
As we usually just have a good weekend, have a very good Labor Day weekend. And yeah, we'll talk to you again on this podcast in a few weeks.